Taurus, I am looking at a very interesting scenario. Not only am I looking at the need for protection, you're protecting someone or someone's protecting you. Nestle down, please. Protect your heart, okay? Wrap your aura up tight before you leave the house. Wrap yourself in cotton wool if you need to, okay? I want to put a protection spell on you, but I would never do that because that's rude and I don't have permission and consent. I'm not a dark witch. I'm a light worker, okay? So there's difference. But I would recommend and suggest to you, you need to put on a protection spell and armor up. So what I will do is I'll put a protection spell in the description, an easy one for you to say and take in, or a piece of content I recommend. No, furthermore, I will refer you to her 7D Consciousness channel and I'll put out a protection spell piece over there for you. It's in the description now. It is actually premiering over there. So go and hit notify for when it actually drops, okay? But let's dive in because I'm looking at a really, really interesting situation that needs to be spoken about. First card out, 8 of Wands. Now, the 8 of Wands is coming out with the Page of Pentacles, and it is talking to me about finance and money specifically. Now, the cards that came out in the pre-shuffle that had me screaming protect, protect, protection was legal, in my opinion, and it was about law, craftsmanship. It was about young talent. Whether or not you are an up-and-coming talent or someone else around you is an up-and-coming talent, it's been a really, really difficult scenario because protection has been paramount. Yeah, I'm talking to someone who's potentially a manager or needs management. Yeah, because somebody here is a budding talent, really, really qualified, really, really out there doing amazing stuff, really, really gifted, or really in the pursuit of a really hot legal case. Hot legal. I want to say hothead as well. So someone who needs to manage their behavior legally. The example I'm getting in my head as I say that as well is Cardi B throwing the pen at the journalist outside the courtroom after she just got cleared of assault. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Why are you doing that? You just got off a crime. Like, my goodness, we were worried for you, sis. Why are you now throwing pens at journalists? Yes, they did say something rude. Yes, it is really annoying. Yes, she is a human being. Yes, she is really fragile. Yes, she's been through a lot. But legally, that could have just really fucked things up for her and created more problems than she needed. And that's what I see here. More problems being created unnecessarily because of a lack of management, a lot of cowardice, I want to say. Not the greatest word to use, and I'm going back and forth. Should I say it? Should I say it? But the card says it. Cowardice. And it's talking about a young naivety in either you or the other person. And there's this lack of... there's bravado, but bravado is different to bravery. So some people will show up with bravado. I've got it, I'm big and ballsy, yeah. But the bravery isn't there, you know. It's hard. There's a fine line between the two. Like, I'll give you a perfect example because I'm getting the vision of it in my head. When I used to work in a really big team, I used to be the outspoken one to speak up, and it's like 20 staff in the staff meeting all in one giant circle. And I would be sitting there until it was time for me to speak with my hands. I would just have to sit on my hands just to control my hands from shaking. That's how nervous I was. That's how overwhelmed I was by those experiences most of the time. And when I did start speaking, because I always had stuff to say that no one else would say, and it was just general feedback about the whole team and how we've been working and the difficulties we've been going through in the environment, and everyone would come to me and bitch about the day, and I would make sure that shit would get dealt with. I didn't take it on as like my responsibility, I've got to do this. I just did what was right, or what was going to make my job easier in my mind, right? But sometimes when I started speaking in these meetings, and I remember it so well now, is my voice would crack instantly. That's me. I'm trying to explain what's going on, and the whole room is watching, and I'm cracking. For the first 14 seconds, my speech, and I'm still going, but it's cracked. Because I'm actually shitting it, because I'm nervous and I'm intimidated and I'm overwhelmed, and it's me again, talking again. And that's what I see as bravery. Whereas On the days where I'm less intimidated, I'm like, right, guys, I want to do this today. We're working on this. This is the project. You do that. You go there. You take control of that. And that's me in the environment. That's probably my behaviour from 8 to 6 in the day. That's bravado. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da. Because the controls are different. Change the setting, change the scenario, change the environment, change the octave, change the tone, change the communication style, and you're going to be challenged with cowardice and bravado and bravery and integrity and willpower and strength and insecurity and what is or isn't the right thing to do, and there's a need to self-protect and preserve your energy. And that's what's coming through for Taurus today. Back of the mind, Empress. Front of the mind, Four of Cups. I can only apologise if you hear the cat crying. She is having a tantrum today. Since the morning. Since last night. So if that's relevant, I've done other things today and she hasn't started crying like this until now. So if that's relevant, you've got a dependent crying their eyes out for you, then I resonate because the cat is now mirroring that vibration. So the past energy, the devil. Heavy energy, Taurus. Future energy, the Ace of Swords. Surrounding environment, surrounding energy of all of this is the Ace of Cups. Then we've got the Knight of Swords. Then we've got the Three of Cups. And then we've got the Four of Wands. Okay, nice. Let me talk to you about what I'm seeing with this when we'll go right back to the Empress. Because when we pull the Empress, it's talking to me about a new beginning for you. A new beginning for you or somebody else. Once again, this energy is dual. This isn't just about you, Taurus. This is about you and other. And this is a very important other. This could be divorce, marriage, settlements, agreements, business, contracts. Either way, the talent's dominant here. So it could be management, agency, CEO, entrepreneur, influencer, contracts. It could be around this energy of management. Yeah, I get strong management energy here, or being dropped by your agent. Yeah, being dropped from the books, being dropped from the team, being dropped from the cast. That's what I get as well here, because I do see with the Four of Cups in the front of the mind, you're out in the cold, you're not getting the communication that you want back. Yeah, so this new beginning that you want, or the thing you want to move to, it seems to be blocked. Yeah. So the past is the devil energy because something's happened in the past that was quite toxic. With this person, it appears to be as well. And not only that, now you're manifesting something new and you're clear about that manifestation. But there is this bottled emotion. There's all this emotion that is bottled or guarded from you. Because I see the Queen of Swords and she's now with the Ace of Cups. And the Queen of Swords is a cold cutting bitch. I see straight to the point. Incredibly aligned to your manifestation with the Ace of Swords and the Magician, but at the back of the mind for this Queen of Swords, there's a lot of emotions that you will not be receiving. So this is giving me a relationship where someone's just shut down emotionally, yeah, and they refuse to open up emotionally or speak or communicate. Not only that, we've got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, this reading's fantastic to look at symbolistically. Is that a word? Symbolistically? It is now. The symbolism of this is fantastic because we've got swords and cups, swords and cups, swords and cups, all being manifested into this new Empress energy. And it is a whirlwind. The sun's coming out with this, which is saying, yeah, this is really beautiful. This is beautiful because normally I would say this seems hazardous because I'm getting eye of the storm, I'm getting hurricane, I'm getting tidal wave. Do you get what I mean? But it isn't that. It's about, they're giving me, you see, a Twister. And the movie Twister is the vision I'm getting in my head. A tornado, that's the one. The tornado is just spinning round and round and round and round. But do you see the formation of the tornado? Do you know what it takes to create that gravitational pull? Do you see how it forms in midair? Do you see how it travels and glides? I'm connecting with someone who is in how do we describe that? Is immersing the element of a tornado. Yeah? Moving through the elements with pace and grit and speed, picking up anything that needs to go with it, including the water element. Queen of Wands coming out to confirm. I'm like, what else is going on here? Queen of Wands and Eight of Swords. Okay. Eight of Swords coming out in the same position as the Virgo read I just done. So you could be dealing with a Virgo. Eight of Swords, Four of Wands. You've got to commit to breaking that fear-based barrier and that fear energy, that bravado and bravery energy I spoke about, and owning those emotions and that whirlwind within inside of you. Sometimes it could be so much turmoil internally that others don't see. Own that. Acknowledge that. Accept that. That's you. That's me. That's us. That's they. That's them. We all go through shit. Yeah? The main thing in life, which I think is the most important for all of us, especially coming from our social groups, our family and friends, our parents, our immediate, is that I would like to call it the hyacinth bucket syndrome. Now, that is something I haven't termed anywhere else, but hyacinth bucket, from a really famous show in the UK from the 90s, Keeping Up Appearances, the main character of that actually just died this year. That's why that's in my head, because the show was about her really putting on this character, keeping up appearances. And many of us, specifically Virgo and Taurus, because I just spoke about all of that in the Virgo read. Go and watch the Virgo read if you're dealing with perfectionism and you've been caught up in this perfectionist whirlwind that was just ended up having people gnaw away at your fucking neck and fuck up your reality. Go and check that out, because I'm getting that energy again here. With the hyacinth bucket energy, it's exuding this element and this air of perfection all the fucking time. And you get to the point where you're sick and fucking tired of it. And I'm swearing, because generally I feel that way. And I'm getting visions in my head of some people that I actually know and influencers that I actually do know. Really, really out there. Really, really famous. Really, really big numbers, right? Maybe not know personally, but know enough, right? And you're seeing them change. You're seeing them revolt. You're seeing them break chains. And they're like, I don't want to present this way anymore. You ever seen someone who's like, I just don't want to be this way anymore, right? I've made all my millions and done all these great things and built all my following based on this version of me, but I'm fucking sick of it because that was never really who I was in the first place. Yeah? Break the chains. And that's about agency. That's about management. That's about your true talents being masked by the persona that you had to give off to the universe to make it to where you're at. And I always talk about virality and all the work I've been doing in the background research-wise. And I really go on and on about how so many of us really want to be viral that we pick up this niche and we conform to this character that is not who we are at all. Yet we get more and more focused on online content and focus on being that online character, and it's never aligned with who we really are, and our whole life become pretending to be that version of ourselves that we actually fucking despise in the end, because that's not even me. I don't even want to do that. I hate making that kind of content. I only done it once and I went viral off that, and now I've got to keep making that shit. I live in the shadow of my true self. Like, does that make sense? Maybe flip that the other way around. You get what I mean? Write the alternative statement in the comments, you know? And the truth of the matter is, the King of Cups coming out here with the moon, you have got a lot of you concealed. A lot of you hidden away. A lot of you unseen by the world. High Priestess and the Page of Wands. So much more of you desiring justice. Justice card coming out. Desiring justice. You've been resting a really long time. Away from others. Away from this pain. Away from this trauma. Away from this situation. There's someone you don't want to have a disagreement or falling out with. There's some heartbreak you're still going through. You're undecided about how to move forward with family or friends or other, or in this connection or relationship or in business. Trauma was a real thing. Now it's just heartbreak and pain because of a deeper connection. I'm just telling you, Three of Swords has come out. Two of Wands have come out. Queen of Pentacles has come out. Five of Cups have come out. Yeah? Four of Swords came out on top of the Four of Cups. I'm not going to pull any more cards now because this is overflow. If you can hear the cats play in the background, I can only apologise. But this overflow is letting me know there's a lot of different nooks and crannies of what's gone on here, which includes heartbreak, which includes upset. Queen of Pentacles, that's your energy. Your element. King of Cups, also giving me your element though. It's the Cups and the Pentacles and the Swords that are all merging in your life right now. And it's about materializing the healthiest levels and layers of your cups and your swords. That's your intellect and your emotions. That could be emotional intelligence as a whole. And how you materialize that and use that to drive you forward day to day. Really important, Taurus. Because bottom of the deck, Five of Wands. Conflict in your life are surrounded and imbalanced in your emotions and your intellect. Choosing between intellect and emotion. Like I said, when my voice is cracking in the staff meeting, because I've got to have a very serious overview of the week and analyze that, versus me just standing there barking orders at everyone all day, right? The power dynamics, the controls, the relationship shifts, the demands, the controls, the legal. Because there's legal here, the perseverance, the talent, the skill set, the know-how. I spoke about qualifications earlier on, to the qualifications, right? Where do you stand with all of this? The teamwork, the allies, the agent, the manager, the hierarchy in the team. Who's in charge of this? Who's in charge of that? Even if that's a relationship dynamic. Family, friends, lover, husband, wife, the layering of that. Mother, father, brother, sister, everyone's role in this. Yeah? I hope that helps you, Taurus. I really, really do. And I'll be back soon with more love and light. Bye.